For the next few hours, nothing exists except for Cleveland High School sports. Because the Quiet Brothers are here. Outlaw!
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Quiet Brothers Sports Show. My name is Kevin Hanley. Got my peoples in the building with me. Got the homie Eli Robinson.
What up?
Got the homie Reggie Logan.
Yes, sir.
Philly Phil is out tonight, but we know what it is. Phil getting to the bag. Can't be mad at that. All right, man. So it went down on Thursday and Friday. Top 25 list released. Rising Stars list released. Got some people that was happy about it. Got some people that wasn't so happy about it. And we'll talk about that. At 7:15, we will be joined by two-time top 25 member Jordan Castleberry, formerly of St. Ed's, now of the Michigan Wolverines, who'll join us at 7:15. We'll chat it up, talk to Jordan.
Wait, we don't say Michigan on this show, man.
We'll make an exception for Jordan.
All right. Okay.
We'll make an exception for Jordan because Jordan's like family around here, man. We'll make an exception for Jordan. But other than that, yeah, we don't really say Michigan around here. But for Jordan, we'll make an exception. And we'll talk about some other things as well. Training camp in Berea is underway.
Yes, sir.
Indians still hot on a run. I mean, they're beating teams that honestly they should be beating.
We did lose today, though.
I mean, yeah. Trevor Bauer. Can we get rid of Trevor Bauer already? Can we get rid of Trevor Bauer?
What a childish and ungrateful.
Trade him.
Yeah,
Just get rid of him already.
Get him
so we'll talk about all that as well. All right, man. So let me just get into this right off the rip. You know what we'll do? We'll go down the list after we talk to Jordan Castleberry. We'll get into the list. So around 7:30 or so, we'll get into we'll start running down the top 25 in the Rising Stars list at around 7:30 or so. So we'll wait till we do the interview with Jordan Castleberry, and then we will run down the list. If you want to hear the interview with Jordan Castleberry, you can download the Quiet Brothers Sports Show app right now. It's free. If you're on the app now and you're listening, thank you for downloading the app. We appreciate it. If you want to hear the interview with Jordan Castleberry, because you won't be able to hear it on Twitter. For those of you that are watching, and shout out to Brock Janowitz and John Kuth, who are members of the top 25 list, and they're on our live Twitter feed. So shout out to them guys for joining us there. But if you guys want to hear the interview with Jordan Castleberry, you will not be able to hear it live on Twitter. You'll have to download the app. Again, it's free. Once you open the app, you'll see the button that says live. You click on that live button, and you can hear the show as it happens, even the interviews, all that stuff.
And hit us up in the chat room. There is a button on there. There's a little square on the app that you can actually talk back with us, and I'm actually managing the chat room tonight. So
okay, so Eli's on the chat room. So if you want to chat with us, you want to chop it up in the chat room through the app. Even if you're on Twitter, you can talk to us on Twitter, right? They can talk to us on Twitter.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
So hit us up. All right, man. So let's just get into this. See, this is what I'm saying right now. This is why I made the video. Okay? This is why I made the video saying everybody can't be on the list. There are only 25 slots on the top 25 list. And there were, I think, 22 slots. We had 22 players on the Rising Stars list. Kind of a weird number, but we had 22 people on the Rising Stars list. Everybody can't make the list. But I'm going to address one instance in particular. So we had a young man. From Warrensville Heights on our Rising Stars list. Young man named D'Angelo Bell, and straight up and down, his coach was not happy about it. Coach said he should be on top 25. 10 interceptions, all state. Okay, I get that. I get that. Here's what some of you guys need to understand and remember. Number one, see, we don't pay any scouting services for anything or anything like that. We're not out here paying scouting services for the information that we get, right? So a lot of times, and for those, maybe some of you players don't know, a lot of times there are a lot of schools out there that don't make your stats readily available. Mm-hmm. You can't just go onto the school's website and get your stats. Not sure how many of y'all know that. Your stats just aren't ready. Like, I can't go and just get a bunch of stats on high school players like I can on, like if I want to go see Baker Mayfield stats. You know what I'm saying? So let's address Warrensville in particular.
Can I add
go ahead.
Something? And there aren't enough credible sites out there
exactly
that will post your numbers or whatnot.
MaxPreps is trash. We tried MaxPreps. MaxPreps is trash.
Cleveland.com is trash. Actually, I couldn't find any stats on Cleveland.com.
Yeah, it's hard. It's honestly it's kind of hard to get accurate, up to date stats for high school players. We do not have the financial resources, nor do we have the manpower that Fox 8 or Cleveland.com would have. We don't have those financial resources. We don't have the manpower. There's 4 of us.
We're doing it our way.
We're doing the
best way we can.
We do the best with the information that we have. That is key. Okay? So let's go back to D'Angelo Bell. 10 interceptions, All-State. Okay, that's fine. Let me tell you this right now. You go to the Warrensville High School website, you won't see that anywhere. How do I know? Because I went and looked.
We all did.
You won't find that anywhere. You go to the athletics page for Warrensville Heights High School, you go to the football, you click on fall sports for football, you won't see anything about their football team on there.
I need to talk.
How do I know? Because I looked.
Y'all need to talk to your athletic director about that, man.
Exactly.
If you have an issue, ain't it with us? We see your huddle video, whatnot, but the issue is not with us.
No,
talk with your athletic director.
Everybody's huddle video looks nice.
Right. Exactly.
That's why it's a highlight video. It's supposed to look nice. Everybody's video looks nice.
So if people out there think we slept on them or didn't mention them or anything, we apologize. We do the best we could do with the information we given.
Yeah, and I honestly, no disrespect to you, I'm not even apologizing. The list is what it is, man. We did the best with the information that was provided to us. Why do you think that some kids, that when we put the cards out, some kids had stats and some kids didn't?
Yeah.
Because some of those kids had the foresight to put their stats out there.
Right.
I could find Jaden Ballard's stats from Massillon. I looked at Jack Porter. Number one, Jack Porter balled out last year, so I already knew Jack Porter was going from Kinston. I already knew Jack Porter was going to be on the list, period. But I looked at Jack Porter's huddle video. Joey Marasek from North Royalton. Before any video of them playing football even showed up, their stats were on their huddle video, off jump. First thing. So here's what I would say to Coach Washington and to the other young man, Javion from Warrensville, who came at us, because D'Angelo Bell wasn't on top 25, he was on Rising Stars. Let me just say this. Keep that same energy and go to your AD or whoever it is at Warrensville that runs your website and ask them, with that same energy you came at us with, why aren't our player stats readily available for people to see? It can be done. Kinston does it. I went on Kinston's website and found stats. It can be done. So keep that same energy and go to your AD or whoever runs the website and say, why aren't our players' stats available on the website?
Also, if you have a sports information officer or
something,
director, that's their job to actually put the stats on the website. Hell, because that's kind of content. That's content. That's a content creator.
Yeah, exactly. They can have a student do it. You can have a student at the games compile the stats up in the press box and then give the stats to whoever puts them into the website, and there you go.
Because it's a stat sheet after every game.
After every game.
Yeah.
You can have somebody go put those stats together and compile them and give them.
And you can just scan it and do it as a PDF and put it on the website.
Easy. That's what Kinston does. So you want to be upset with us because we put D'Angelo. We did the best with the information that we had. We didn't have that information on. Listen, man, we try to cover a lot of schools. And do we miss it sometimes? Absolutely, we miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
Last year, I got no problem saying we totally missed DeMonte Trayanum from Akron Hoban.
Yeah,
we missed it.
Yeah, and we missed C.J. Charleston from Gilmore.
Somebody hipped us to DeMonte Trayanum. Now, a little side note to that, we weren't really covering Akron too tough around that time, but somebody pointed him out to us. As we were doing the top 25 list, I had somebody get into the inbox and say, how do you compile your list? And I kind of explained how we do it, with some of the resources, some of the ways that we use to try to get our list. He said, cool, I got 2 kids that I want you to check out. He sent me 2 videos in the inbox. See, that's another thing. Our inbox is open 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Coach, player, friend of a player, parent of a player, we don't care. Listen, we're not like some of these other entities. We're not like Fox 8 or whoever who may not even acknowledge you if you say, hey, listen, I got a kid you guys need to check out. Can you send some of that to somebody like Fox 8, they might be like, okay, whatever, and blow it off.
You got some
we won't do that.
But make no mistake, if you ball out, you will get talked about on the show.
You'll get talked about. And if you come in our inbox and we go and look at your video and your video is average or it's trash, then sorry, it is what it is. Listen, man, this list and this show, period, man, this is a labor of love for us. We don't make any money off of this show, at least not yet. But we don't any expense or anything that has to go on that has to do with this show comes out of our own pockets. We don't make any money off of this show. Again, not yet. And are we trying to expand the show? Absolutely, and we will make no apologies for that. Yes, we are trying to expand the show. We are trying to get into new areas and cover new schools. Absolutely, we are. Why wouldn't we be? But again, I would say this goes to any coach, player, AD, parent, whatever. If you think you have a kid that's worthy for us to check out, hit us in an inbox. We are on all three of the major social media platforms. We're here on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We got an inbox for each one. You jump into the inbox anytime you want. So Coach Washington and the rest of everybody else at Warrensville that's upset that D'Angelo and Bell didn't get on the top 25, maybe the question should be, you know what? We'll come back to that. So right now, on the phone line, joining us, he's a friend of the show. We pretty much consider him family around here. He is a 2-time member of the Quad Brothers Sports Show Top 25 list. He balled out for St. Ed's last year. He will be doing the same for the Michigan Wolverines. His name is Jordan Castleberry. He joins us now. Jordan, what's good, family?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Jordan, what up, bro?
Not much. Just chilling.
Yeah, yes, sir. So you in Ann Arbor now, correct?
Yeah, I've been in Ann Arbor ever since May.
Jordan, did it? How'd it feel going behind enemy lines, man, for the first time? How'd that feel, bro?
They huge. I didn't get to run behind them yet, but we've been doing 707s and stuff.
That's what's up.
Player led 707s, but my linemen are huge.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's gonna be crazy.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Look, let's get right into it. So why don't you, Jordan, talk to us, man? Talk about the transition of going from high school to one of the premier D1 programs in the country. Talk about that process and how that goes.
Academic-wise or athletic-wise?
Both.
Well, I started school in June, a month after I moved in, and academic-wise was a smooth transition because of what St. Edward offered as a college preparatory school. And it was a little bit more of the workload, but I know how to manage my time and stuff like that. That's key. Right. And as soon as I get an assignment, I get it out the way. That's how I've always been. That's why my grades never been down. I always had good grades.
That's what's up.
And it's just different. I mean, you're more independent, way more independent. But I think you can use that as a tool also getting your grades and stuff. You got to be more responsible. Going to see your professors and stuff like that. But athletic wise, the transition, the game tempo is going to be way faster. So you got to take care of your body. I know I wasn't ice bathing. Wasn't taking ice baths every day. I would take them like once a week in high school, but I'm taking them like every day because you're lifting, working all types of muscles in your body that you never knew you had, and just taking the process slow and following the upperclassmen.
Hey, talk about that too, Jordan. Talk about that too, because talk about like when you go to a place like Michigan. The rivalry aside, this is one of the premier programs in the country, football wise. Talk about the facilities that they have there, and the sports technology and the sports medicine that's available to you as a player.
It definitely has expanded. I think Michigan is one of the top medical programs. They have one of the top medical programs, like the many trainers we have and many weight trainers we have. There's somebody always right there following the players around, and we work in groups where it's not too hard for them to attack a situation if it was to happen. They attack it very fast. So we work in like groups of like 25 with like 5 trainers. They're present. The facilities are way different. The facilities are made for basically the athlete to feel at home, and anything you need, like clothes, shoes, anything you need is already provided for you there. We're connected to the hospital, and so anything, like if you was to need like surgery or anything, they can set you up with an appointment. The trainers can set you up with an appointment. We have 2 team doctors. It's just a lot of branches and stuff. It's a lot of stuff, and if you want to work in that field, and stuff, you can intern. They allow you to intern.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
And so it's opportunities that way. As far as team wise, like coming in as a freshman, as an incoming freshman, I feel like everybody had a little fanning. You be fanning for a couple hours as soon as you get there. It's like you see Shea Patterson and Donovan Peoples-Jones and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, oh man, he's on my team. And so, but it's like that. But that's just showing that you're a young guy. You got to go up under their wing and let them guide you. And everything is student based, and that's academic wise and athletic wise as well. Like all the programs and groups that are ran at the University of Michigan are all student driven, and that's unique because it empowers students to give power to other students. And so it like influence is a high influence. It's not always from like an adult, but that it's just unique. It's a good experience.
That's what's up.
I think people just look at it as work. I mean, of course you got to work in anything you do, but the whole overall experience. And my younger brothers, Jalen and Joel and Edward, who's incoming freshman at St. Ed's, they've gotten to see parts of the behind the scenes with me being there. I'm kind of giving them like a little head start. Like, you got to do this now in high school and start practicing because college is going to come real fast.
Jordan, this is Reggie. I got a 2-part question. How was it when you first walked into the stadium, and how was Coach Harbaugh?
My first time ever going into the stadium, or me being the Michigan Wolverine?
You as a Michigan Wolverine walking into that stadium.
I'd say we had to do stairs. We had to do team stairs, and walking over to the stadium, which is connected to Chrysler. Walking to the stadium knowing like this is my like they tell us this all the time, like this is our home.
Yep.
And, like, you play in the biggest football stadium in football. As 110,000 plus gonna be there every Saturday. Like, that's something to think about. And it's amazing how deep the legacy is at Michigan and stuff like that. And it just felt great. It felt great. It felt like the right move, not just because of the stadium, just because everybody in Ann Arbor is just like a one whole family. And all the coaches is very personal with their players, and especially Coach Harbaugh. People, I mean, the media say what they want about Coach Harbaugh, but Coach Harbaugh is a great great father from home. That's exactly what he is.
So let's talk about. Let's just piggyback off of that. What do you like most about Coach Harbaugh's style? Because I know, because I know some people are kind of turned off by that, that kind of rah style that he has. But what do you like most about Coach Harbaugh's style?
He old school. He kind of like Bo Schembechler, his old head coach.
Okay.
I think he's not so old school where he's become naive to the fact that you're gonna have to adjust from the old school style play. That's why we have Coach Gaddis and Ben McDaniels and stuff like that. Like, we're gonna be mainly spread this year.
Okay.
That's different. You always see Michigan in I formation or power I, something like that. So it's gonna be different. Our slogan is speed and space, so that's gonna be pretty unique. He's always open for new stuff that's gonna benefit the team, and that's with anything. If a player have to move from offense to defense or defense to offense, and he's a very diverse in the way he coach type of guy. So that's what I love about Coach Harbaugh.
So has the coaching staff defined to you what your role in the offense is going to be? Have they done that yet, or are you just going to try to just get you in where they can?
Right now we have 13 running backs, but I'm a running back.
Okay.
And I think it's like a 3-back. I don't know yet, but find more about that in camp. But right now I think everybody's doing good. I think I've been doing well myself.
Right.
And so that's about it.
So what is it about the University of Michigan that most attracted you and made you want to be there at Michigan? What is it about that school, that the city, the atmosphere? What is it about it that just most attracted you most?
Definitely a big influence was the fact that all the great running backs like Jamie Morris and stuff like that, and all the greats that come from Michigan came from Ohio. And it's just like watching Desmond Howard and stuff like that growing up. And I mean, I was never mainly an Ohio State or Michigan fan. I was always a Bama and Penn State fan. But learning the legacy about Michigan being there, one of my mentors, like John Kozar, who went there, I played with his son, Caden Kozar, in high school. Been around Michigan the past couple of years, and including both of my teammates, Quintel and Caden, going to be there. It was just a good fit, and it's not far away from home. It's like 2.5 hours. So
okay. So now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, but you had verbally committed to West Virginia, then you switched. Was there something specific that prompted that decision, or is that something you can even speak on?
No, I felt like the coaches at West Virginia, I didn't feel like they were like attached to me as the Michigan coaches was. That's all that was.
Okay.
I knew my position coach at Michigan. I knew Coach Harbaugh personally. I knew the offense coordinator. Everybody knew who I was. I got to meet everybody else. It was just more. It was more set up well. So that was the reason.
Now talk about, and we've had the opportunity to meet them. Talk about your family structure, Jordan, your mom, your dad, your brothers, and how much their support has helped you through this process.
They've been extremely helpful, especially my younger brothers, considering the fact, I mean, I'm only 5'6", 5'7", and I'm not the prototypical size running back.
Right.
Nowadays. And I mean, it was times where I wasn't gonna give up, but it was hard times. But my family, my dad always stayed in my ear. My younger brothers, my little big brothers, because they already bigger than me. but they always been there for me and stuff like that. I know they was always in my corner. They always support me in everything I do. Whatever I decided to do, no question, no ifs, ands, or buts. They was always in supporting me. And my mom, she's like the faith runner of the family.
Yeah.
She looked beyond what you're going through. So,
that's
I mean, that helped a lot. And I know a lot of kids don't have parents like mine. So my parents always been that like spotlighting other kids' lives as well. So that's what I love.
True indeed. All right, Jordan. So we'll get you out of here. One last question. We'll let you go. Tell the people that may not know. Tell the people of Ann Arbor. Tell Michigan fans across the country. What are they getting in Jordan Castleberry?
Somebody that's unique. somebody that's gonna work hard in the classroom. I love to write, and hopefully, I make a famous writing something very famous I've written, something like that. Just a laid back guy that loves playing football and is willing to do anything to help his team to achieve their goals.
That's what's up, Jordan. You know it's always love between us and you and the fam. We wish you nothing except for one Saturday out of the year. We wish you nothing but success out there at Michigan, man. It's all love. Jordan Castleberry, formerly St. Ed's, now Michigan. Jordan, thanks so much, man. Give our best to the family, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Jordan Castleberry, former St. Ed's running back, current Michigan Wolverines running back, two-time Quad Brothers Sports Show top 25 member. That's what's up.
State champion.
And did you notice how he talked about the academics as well?
Yeah.
See, that's important, man. Y'all can, some people can learn some stuff like that. The academics, the on field is great too, but the academics, that's even more important. All right, so we'll come back. We'll do this. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll start to get into the top 25 list. So Eli, go ahead and we'll get a break going, and then we'll get back into the list. What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is called Playground by Skynex Beats. This is the Quad Brothers Sports Show on One Unit Media Network.
The Quad?
Yep.
Skynex sponsored Beats. Skynex sponsored Beats.
All right, welcome back to the show. Big shout out, man, to Jordan Castleberry, two-time Quad Brothers Sports Show top 25 member.
Yes, sir. And I got two names for you, Kev, who two guys that weren't also very tall neither, but Hall of Famers, Barry Sanders and Ward Dunn.
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep. When
he said something, I was like, Warrick Dunn.
Is Warrick Dunn in the Hall of Fame?
No, not yet.
But he should be.
He should be.
He should be. Barry Sanders is definitely in the Hall of Fame. We already know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he said, I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, 5'6", but he could. But listen, man, you don't get attention from schools like West Virginia and Michigan if you can't play football.
Exactly.
No matter what your height is. I give you a perfect look at Darren Sproles.
Yep.
Darren Sproles might be shorter than 5'6".
Yeah.
And Darren Sproles has been playing now. This will be Darren Sproles' 16th year, 15th, 16th year in the league.
Yeah.
As a running back and special teams, kick returner and things like that.
Yep.
Darren Sproles has been playing for a long time.
Absolutely.
And he's probably shorter than Jordan. Sometimes, man, it's all about your heart, your height and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't really matter. It's about, can you play? Can you ball? And Jordan Castleberry, if you know. Jordan Castleberry can ball. No doubt about it. So we appreciate Jordan coming on. We appreciate the whole Castleberry family, man. They really, good people, man. His mother, his father, his brothers, all good people. All good people. And he was right, man. A lot of young people out there don't have that structure like that family structure, the mother and father in the home. And that's why when he started talking about his academics first. Notice that when I said that, I said, "What is it about? What's the best part? What's the part about talking about going from high school to D1?" His first response was academically or athletically. That's upbringing right there. That shows you somebody that cares about the academic side, that knows that I can go out here and I can ball, but I need to have the book side right too, because the football is not always going to be there. Remember that too, young people. The football, it's great. If you can go out there on the field and ball out, hey man, do you, and we'll support you in any endeavor you try to go after athletically. But keep your head in the books, because. And again, man, if you're new to the show, and some people that might be listening are going to be new to the show, we don't sugarcoat nothing. We keep it real on the show. A lot of you guys aren't going to make it to the pros. That's just what the statistics say. I think only 2% of college players make it to the pros. A lot of y'all ain't going to make it. So, if you're not going to make it to the pros, man, as an athlete, listen, have your academic side on point. I got a good friend of mine who coaches youth basketball, and his son is very, very smart. But his son is not really into sports, and he always says to me, "That's okay. My son's not going to play on. My son's not going to play on the team. My son's going to own the team." That's the kind of mentality that you need to have. That okay, the academics, the athletic side is great, but I need the academics too. You got to have both.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go ahead, man. Let's get it. We're gonna recap the picks of the top 25 and on the top 25 and on the Rising Stars list. So,
not to cut you off real quick, Kev. We live on Instagram Live. Y'all can join us on the Instagram Live to chime in on the top 25 also.
We're also live on the Quad Brothers Sports Show Facebook page as well.
So we are live on the Quad Brothers Sports Show page on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Instagram. We are live on all three platforms. If you got something to say, now is the time to say it, because we are live on all three platforms. So if you got something to say, don't be quiet. Say it. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the list. The first person that was on the list is running back from the Akron, the Archbishop Hoban Knights in Akron, DeMonte Trayanum, senior running back athlete, 106 carries last year, 1,313 yards, 26 touchdowns. On the defensive end, 60-plus tackles, 8 sacks, and 5 forced fumbles.
Wow.
Straight beast mode.
Beast mode.
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth, Rich.
Won the divisions, the state championship. I believe that was Hoban's fourth.
Yeah.
Hoban's fourth state championship.
And we seen them dismantle 2 undefeated teams,
yep.
Maple Heights and Garfield.
And then they did, and then got Massillon in the championship game. And DeMonte has already committed to the Arizona State Sun Devils, so he'll be Pac-12 next season. After this season, excuse me. So DeMonte Trayanum, I mean, there's really nothing. If you know, like again about this young man, there's nothing else you can really say about him.
Shout out to everybody. There's a lot of people joining the chat room right now. JV, Carly, Nick, Samick, 4K, Matt, China Red. Shout out to y'all.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, man? I believe Nick is at Michigan State right now. I believe Nick was at Mentor. I believe Nick is at Michigan State. So what's up, Nick?
What up, Nick?
All right. So the next member on the list, again, go back to that Kinston Bombers team. Jack Porter, running back for the Kinston Bombers, 2,419 yards. I'm going to say that again. 2,419 yards and 32 touchdowns for Jack Porter. First team All-Ohio and a Division III state champion. Led Kinston to the Division III state championship. They had 3 players that were All-State on that Kinston team. They are really building something special out there in Kinston. Jack, and we apologize. Let me just apologize to Jack and to the Kinston family. We didn't put it on his card, but Jack is committed to Wake Forest. So Jack will be in the ACC next year, playing for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Telling you, man, I'm just saying. Jack Porter is a very talented running back. He's one of those running backs that he's like a. I don't want to say Marshall Faulk, because that Marshall Faulk is one of the all-time greats. But if you're looking for a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, Jack Porter can do that for you. Jack Porter is a very good running back. And Wake Forest is going to be lucky to have Jack Porter. 2,419 yards and 32 touchdowns.
Wow.
Insane. So once again, we are live on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you got something to say about the list, now is the time to say it. Feel me? All right. So next up on the list, Jeff Petrowski Jr., a senior linebacker from the St. Edwards Eagles. Helped lead the Eagles to the Division I state championship. We were actually at that game down in Canton. Led the Eagles to the Division I state championship and has committed to the Michigan State Spartans. So he will be Big Ten next year. Going to play for Mark D'Antonio in Michigan State. I'm telling you, they getting some players out there at Michigan State, man. They getting some players out there at Michigan State. Ryan Day, you might have you're gonna have your work cut out for you this year.
Ryan Day ain't worried about that. Have you seen his recruiting?
I know. I'm just saying.
He ain't worried about that.
They getting some players out there. That it might be time to stop making the Big Ten is weak arguments, because the Big Ten getting some players out there. Now I know it's a lot of players out there that other conferences, namely like the SEC, that are getting players, but Big Ten is really starting to come up. Jeff Petrowski Jr., senior linebacker, all over the field. You look at this video, he's all over the field. In the backfield, making plays, being disruptive. And he's the kind of player that you could see fitting into Mark D'Antoni's defensive system there at Michigan State.
Shout out to Jordan. Jordan just joined the chat. Jordan Castleberry, great interview. Shout out to Evu Too Wild. What up, y'all?
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to James Simmons, who's actually in the Facebook chat room.
Hey, what's going on, James? I was conversing with James a little bit earlier on that, man. Shout out, James. Thank you for.
He said we can't hear your phone calls. Did you download the app, sir?
Yeah, you got to download the app.
Got to download the app, y'all.
If you're on Twitter, you can listen, James. You can go back if you download the app. It doesn't matter what you have. It's in the App Store and it's in Google Play if you're on Android. If you download the app. After this show is over, this show will be uploaded to the app. You can go back and you can listen to the interview through the app. Okay, so if you want to hear everything that's going on in the show, the music, the interviews, if you want to hear all that, you have to have the app. And then then when the show broadcasts at 7:00 every Sunday night, you can open up the app. There will be a button that says live. Click that live button, you'll be able to hear it. You'll be listening to the show as it happens. All right. So that was Jeff Petrowski Jr. from the St. Edwards Eagles. Next up on the list, from the Orange Lions, Marvin Davies.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, my guy. That's my guy.
Listen.
That's my guy.
Marvin Davies, you want to talk about fast? Marvin Davies, go ahead, E.
I mean, he's I can only say a few things, and I mean, that's it. But Marvin Davies, it's a combination of speed, power, and acceleration.
Absolutely.
Once he getting out in the open, and he hit that stride, it's over for him.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's going to be a great game this year against
Beechwood.
Orange and Beechwood.
Beechwood.
We got that one circle. We got
Yes,
that one
indeed.
circle.
Yes, indeed. All right, man. So next up on the list on the Quad Brothers Sports Show Top 25 was Najee Story, junior defensive end from the Solon Comets. This young man, I mean, just watch the film. This young man, again, very disruptive, explosive off the line. Najee Story. And he's only a junior. He was a sophomore last year. And this young man is already gotten offers from, I believe, Ohio State. I believe Ohio State is actually the front runner now for Najee Story. So Ohio State, I know Maryland, I believe Duke has offered.
He don't want to go to
Najee.
He don't want to go to no Maryland.
I mean, if you want to waste 4 years and go to Maryland, go ahead and do that. But I'm just saying.
Duke.
I don't know. Duke ain't too bad.
Daniel Jones came out of Duke.
Well,
Duke not known for football.
But no, lately that Duke has been coming on for football though. They may not be a football. They'll never be. They'll always be a basketball school. But lately Duke has been kind of coming on in football. So Najee Story, a junior defensive end for the Solon Comets, was the next person on the list. Next up on the list from the Massillon Tigers. So let me just say this. For those that don't know, I am born and raised in Canton, okay? And I was, for the longest time since we've been doing this show, since we've been covering high school, I've been telling my compadres here, Eli and Reggie and Phil, who's not here, about the Massillon-McKinley rivalry. I've been telling them it's serious. I know you guys up here in Cleveland are used to the Holy War, and you don't understand Massillon-McKinley. But if you really know high school football, I don't know how you don't understand Massillon-McKinley, but that's another side story.
I got a side note. I just want to shout out Erica Logan, who's actually in the chat room right now.
Oh, what's up, Erica? Erica, we're not talking Browns yet. We're not talking Browns yet. But so Phil and I went down last year, and we were able to cover the Massillon-McKinley game, and Phil was converted. Eli and Reggie have yet to see that.
I'm going and I'm wearing red, my red and black.
Well, if you do that, it'll be in Canton this year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna wait a year, and it's gonna be back in Massillon. I'm gonna wear my red and black.
James, tell him you don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Okay, you can wear it, but don't walk with me. Do not walk with me. If we're in Massillon during that game, you wearing red and black.
I'm drawing all. I'm like LeVar Ball, baby. I'm drawing all the attention.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, okay. You don't want that. But back to but Jalen Ballard, man, this young man, and we actually saw some of what he can do when we were covering the game. Jalen Ballard, he's tall. I guess you could say kind of lanky, but he's got moves. He's got speed. He's got hands. 36 receptions for 851 yards. Do the math on that. That's about 22 yards a catch. 36 catches for 851 yards and 12 touchdowns. Do the math on 36 receptions for 851 yards. That's a lot per catch. And he's already, there's another one, is when Ryan Day snagged. He's already committed to Ohio State. So Jalen Ballard will be in Ohio State, but he'll just be a junior this year. So Jalen Ballard's got some more growing to do. By the time he gets to Ohio State, it might be a problem, boy, in that offense there. So Jalen Ballard from the Massillon Tigers was the next on the list. Next up on the Quad Brothers Sports Show Top 25, Victor Ford, a senior running back from the Shaker Heights Red Raiders.
Let me tell you something. I saw this young man's tape. He gonna be something special. He gonna
Absolutely.
be something special. Kid is a running back.
Shout out to the whole Shaker family, man. Much love to Shaker, the Rashid family, and shout out to everybody else at Shaker, man. Shaker has always been good to us, and we appreciate Shaker's support of the show. But Victor Ford's play speaks for itself.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And I say that because here's the thing with doing this list: you can't please everybody when you do a list like this. And we've already had people accusing us of playing favorites and all that kind of stuff. Which is like, why would we do that?
Side note, Erica Logan says, "I am Team Browns now. Reg begged me, and said these boys are stacked. Stacks are great."
Okay, but can we? But just can you?
Don't get Kev started.
All I'm saying is,
Erica. You see what you did?
Can we play a?
I gotta hear this.
You know what? I'll be at a preseason game in August. I think I'm going to the one against Washington. So
That's the first one.
Game. That's the first one. So I think I'm going to that one. I'll be at a game, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But let me just say this, because we were accused of playing favorites on this top 25 list and even the Rising Star list, I guess. Do you understand, if we wanted to, we could have had 6 or 7 kids on this list from Eds alone on this list. If we were really going to play favorites, we could have had about 6, 8 Eds players on this list. If we wanted to play favorites, we could have done St. Ed's, Hoban, Massillon, and Ignatius and call it a day. And we could have found 25 kids on those teams. Kinston, Kirtland, even Kirtland. We didn't have anybody from Kirtland on this. If we really wanted to play favorites, we could have played favorites. That's not what we're about on this show. We really could have if we wanted to, though. We could have had 6 or 7 kids from Eds alone on the list. So just remember that.
Shout out to Mika 35, Dre 4K, Cortez. Shout out to y'all.
Oh, shout out to Mika. That's Keyshawn Johnson from Brush. That's Keyshawn's mother. So appreciate you and your support, Mika. All right. So next up on the list, the second player that we had on the list from the Archbishop Hoban Knights, Caden Clark, a senior tight end, 30 catches, 640 yards, 9 touchdowns. Also helped lead the Hoban Knights to the Division II state championship, and he is committed to the University of Alabama.
Oh, Nick Saban.
Nick Saban wants Caden Clark, so I know you didn't think we were going to leave him off the list. If Nick Saban wants Caden Clark, he's top 25. He's going to the University of Alabama. And he's kind of in that, I was watching this film, he wears the same number. See, here's the thing, I'm old enough to remember Dwight Clark, his prime years. Dwight Clark was a pretty good tight end, but when I think of Caden Clark, I kind of think of, as much as I hate to say it, I kind of think of a Jason Witten type tight end when I see Caden Clark play. I wouldn't put him in like Tony Gonzalez territory or anything like that. But I say
Heath Miller, honestly, like kind of a Heath
maybe
Miller.
I think he's actually. I actually think he's more athletic than Heath Miller. I would put, if you made me compare Caden Clark to a tight end, I would say Jason Witten at the moment. Now, he's certainly got time to grow and evolve and become even better. And once he gets to Alabama, I'm sure that'll happen. But
he remind me of Jason Witten too.
Yeah,
like
I would say
his
Jason
body
Witten.
Frame and his size remind you of Jason Witten.
I would definitely say Jason
the
Witten.
kid is a tight end, right?
Yeah, tight end. 30 catches, 640. That's about 20, 25 yards a catch. Almost.
Well, let me tell you something. Alabama is known for their tight ends.
Listen, I'm sorry, man. You don't just walk into Alabama. This kid has already secured a scholarship to Alabama. He's already going. That doesn't just happen to every player. You got to be special. If Nick Saban wants you, you got to be pretty special.
And he gonna ball out this year because teams gonna stack the box trying to stop.
Trying him.
Shot up, and he's seam right down the middle.
There you go. I mean, somebody got to stop Hoban. I don't know who's gonna do it, but somebody got to stop Hoban.
Yeah, that's the safety blanket right there.
Next up on the list is a young man who played at Glenville last year, Torrance Davis, a senior running back and athlete. Now, full disclosure here, I had no idea, at least initially, that Torrance had switched. Torrance now plays for Garfield Heights. Shout out Coach Osborne at Garfield Heights. You got a good one. Torrance is at Garfield Heights now. And Torrance is already committed to University of Kentucky.
That kid is ripped.
When
he cut up.
I mean, just look at his card. When you see him bust through that line and come out that line with that explosion that he has, if you play in Garfield next year, you better. If you on a defensive line and you a linebacker, you playing Garfield next year, you better bring a lunch.
My only question is, why's he going to the University of Kentucky?
Hey, Kentucky is coming up too, man.
No. That's not the premier school. It's in the MAC. It's like Ziggy Zumba, baby.
Okay, he's not going to Bowling Green. Bowling Green is beneath Torrance Davis. Okay, he's got it.
Wow.
Let me.
You gonna talk about my alumni like?
Let me set the stage for you.
I'm an alumni of Bowling Green State University. All right.
Let me set the stage for you though. MAC, SEC, MAC, SEC. Where are you going, bro?
Well,
I'm going SEC.
I'm MAC all day, baby.
And honestly, Kentucky is actually starting to come up a bit. On the football side, another basketball school that's starting to gain some traction and find their way on the football side, and a player like Torrance Davis can only help them. And so Torrance Davis, when we saw the video, and again, I did not know initially that he had switched and went to Garfield Heights. And it was just by chance I just happened to see a video of him at Garfield Heights, and I'm like, oh man, then we kind of had to switch a couple of things up. But Torrance Davis definitely belongs on this list. So Torrance Davis of the Glenville Heights, Garfield Heights Bulldogs.
Yeah, you get it,
and the
right
University of
there.
My
Yeah,
bad.
you're gonna get a bro right there.
All right. Next on the list. Now, we saw this young man last year when we went to go cover them play Mayfield. Next on the list is Jake Ryan, a wide receiver from the Jackson Polar Bears, which is also down in Massillon. 58 receptions, 1,090 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And Jake is going Ivy League, I believe. Colgate University.
Oh wow, that's a good school.
Yes. So Jake could be going to Colgate. We went out there, and shout out to Mayfield. You know us all love Mayfield. We went out there. Mayfield had us out there. They always treat us well. When we go out there. Shout out to the student section of Mayfield as well. But we went out there to see Mayfield, and all I could say to myself was, who is this kid from Jackson that's beasting all these DBs out here? Because Jake Ryan was all over the place. And we got a little bit more information on him. Seems to be a great young kid. We haven't had a chance to talk to him. We need to change that this season. But again, the play and the numbers speak for themselves. 1,090 yards and 9 touchdowns already committed to Colgate. So Jake Ryan, the next player on the top 25 list. Next up.
A side note, James Simmons says John Couth.
John Couth?
Yeah, Couth, 65 of Maslin.
Yeah, that's his. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're getting there,
Okay,
James.
okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
All right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, James. We're gonna get there.
Next up on the list from the Elyria Pioneers, Davion Drummer, aka Day Day.
This kid can ball.
Explosive.
This kid can ball.
Explosive. We actually first got Day Day on our radar last year. Actually.
Yeah. I actually saw his huddle video. Like, kid is explosive, powerful, acceleration. Like, he actually reminds me of a Warwick Dunn.
Yeah, I would give him that comparison. I would give him that comparison. And he's another one of those running backs where out of the backfield he's super dangerous out of the backfield. And I think Coach Culliver out of Elyria is going to start to turn things around. I mean, listen, really from the past couple of seasons that they've had, you can really only go up in Elyria. And you know what it is. If you follow this show for any period of time, you know that
down
we have
by law, man.
Elyria is down by law on this show. We have nothing but love for Elyria.
I give them 4 wins this year.
I mean,
4 and 6.
That'll be an improvement.
I give him 7 wins.
Woo. 7.
I'm riding with Elyria this year.
Okay.
I'm riding with Elyria.
Right. I don't know about 7.
Elyria, you hear? Look, Elyria, can you hear me? Can you see? You can see me right now. All right, Elyria, I'm riding with y'all this year, man.
I'm riding with him, but I'm not giving him 7.
I'm giving y'all 7 wins.
No disrespect, but I think with Coach Culliver coming in, Coach Arnold was out. Coach Culliver's coming in. I think he's going to bring a new style, new culture there. And not that Coach Arnold had a bad culture there, but again, when you've had the past couple of seasons that Elyria has, you can only go up. And I think with players like Day Drummer, they're going to go up from there. So Davion Drummer.
And shout out to the Lowry family as well, man. They've been down with us since day one.
Absolutely. Next up on the list from the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, senior wide receiver Jalen Ross. 44 catches, 776 yards, only 3 touchdowns. But he was injured this season, so the numbers should have been higher. But he got injured, I believe, late in the season. He got injured. He was first team all Federal League, and honestly, he's got the pedigree as well. His, I believe, cousin is Aaron Ross, who went to University of Texas and played for the New York Giants.
Oh wow,
is his cousin. But 44 catches, 776 yards, would have been more, but he got injured, I believe, late in the season, and his season was kind of cut short. But still worthy, talent-wise, of being on the list. So from the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, Jalen Ross. This young man, you want to talk about hands. This young man has hands. He will go up and get it. He will catch it in traffic. He'll come down with it more times than he won't. The play and the film speaks for itself. Jalen Ross, Canton McKinley Bulldogs, was the next on the list. Next up, one time for the big boys from the Avon Eagles, Tommy Lawrence, a senior tackle and guard for Avon. You want to talk about a road grader? That's Tommy Lawrence. And I hope I'm saying that right. It's Lorincz. I hope I'm saying it right. But the young man, again, explodes off of the line and finishes the block.
Pancake specialist.
Yes. And he has committed to Ball State already.
Okay, to the MAC.
Yes, committed to Ball State. So Tommy Lawrence.
Bowling Green State University, but we don't leave that alone. It's Avon. It's like, what? An hour and 45 minutes away from BG. Come on, bro.
But you got a couple. You got Ryan Malloy there.
Okay, I just don't want Ryan Malloy, all right? I want another lineman, all right? We didn't win the MAC last year. I want us to win the MAC this year.
Was it Brandon or Brian Kilbane from St. Ed's?
Okay, yes.
So you're going to get some players.
All right, no, I want the best, okay?
You know how you get the best? You win games. That's not been happening.
Don't you worry about that, okay?
Reggie, am I right?
Roll along, baby.
You got to win more than 3 games. You got to win more than 3 games.
Roll along. Isaac
right
Zumba.
Am I right or wrong? You got to win more than 3 games.
Shout out to Joey Moe. Shout out to Trey 8. Shout out to Jay Kane. Seaton, Tavon. Shout out to y'all.
Joey Moe, Joey Marasek. What's up, Joey? And Jay King from Kennedy, man. What's up? All right. So next on the list, and you know, this was another one. We saw the film. We didn't really have the stats. Again, you guys got to realize that the stats are not readily available for all of you guys. They're just not. We'd love to have stats for all of you. They're just not really readily available. Okay. But next on the list, from the Bedford Bearcats, Jayshawn Callaway.
I like him.
Yes, senior safety and running back. Again, all over the field. Everywhere the ball goes on defense, he's there. And that they're gonna need that, I think, at Bedford. I think Bedford is gonna maybe start to turn that corner again this year and kind of get back to where they were. A lot of stuff went down this offseason at Bedford. I'm sure a lot of you guys know with Coach Williams and everything that happened there, and that's gotta do some damage to a program.
I give them 3 to 4 wins.
I give them 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I give them 5. Because it's just, you know, something like that, man. That can shake up the whole program.
Yeah, absolutely.
And no, it's going to be on the new coaching staff there at Bedford to kind of keep everything in order. But yeah, I'll give him. What's up, Reg?
JV Cali, I guess he played for Bedford. He put up the Mad Devil face when I said 3 to 4 wins.
Hey, man.
Hey, prove me wrong, bro.
Yeah, prove us wrong. We love that. Prove us wrong, man.
I'm riding with Bedford too, man.
You ride with Bedford?
I'm riding with Bedford. Come on, baby. I'm with you.
All right, man. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll keep getting into the list. We'll keep the list going, and we'll do that for the last hour of the show. Thank you to everybody that's watching live and looking in and listening. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, and we'll get back into the list. Eli's name of the song.
The name of the song is called Icon by On the Track Beats. This is the Quad Brothers Sports Show on One Unit Media Network.
The Quad?
Yep.
We on the...
back to the show. Hey, Bedford, man. Listen, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know we've been we're straight up, man. We've been rocking with Bedford from day one, man. Y'all know what it is. We've been rocking with y'all, but we gotta call it like we see it, you know. We don't sugarcoat nothing. It ain't no disrespect, man. We just telling you our opinion. The best thing you can do is prove us wrong on the field. That's the best way. That's the best way you can do it. Go out there and ball out, man.
Shout out to Chaz Hunter that just joined.
What's good, Chaz? Yeah, man. The best thing you can do, Bedford, is prove us wrong, man. That's the best thing you can do. And if you do, congratulations. We not hating, no disrespect. We just call it like we see it, man.
Jay Sean said they win in 10 games this year.
Okay. All right. Let's see it.
I like that in a young man.
Hey, for sure. So let me just say this, man, before we get back into the list. If you want to hear what's going on, we do the music, we do our breaks. We had the music playing in the break. If you want to hear the interviews, like the interview we had with Jordan Castleberry, if you want to hear that interview, you got to download the app. You cannot hear the interview if you're just looking on Twitter. You have to download the app. Go to the App Store. Go to Google Play. It's a free app. We don't charge you any money for the app. It's free. Go download the app. Once you open the app, on the show that's broadcast, you'll see a red button that says live. Click that button. You'll be listening live to the show. You'll be able to hear everything that's going on. Everything that we can hear in the headphones, you'll be able to hear through the app.
And if you want to talk with us live, you can actually click that the white dot, the white square. And I'm managing the chat room right now, so get in here and talk to us, man.
Get in there. Like I said, man, it was some people that was heated. Some people didn't like it. Some people didn't like the list. This person should have been on. This person should have been on. I should have been on the list. This, that, and the other. This is your time. Now is the time. If you got something to say, now's the time to say it. All right, man, let's get back into the list. Next up on the Quad Brothers Sports Show Top 25, I hope I'm saying the last name right. Connor Chamil, I believe is how you say it. Senior wide receiver from the St. Ignatius Wildcats, the only player on the list from St. Ignatius. Connor Chamil, 1,188 all-purpose yards, 38 catches for 831 yards, 8 touchdowns. Again, another a receiver that's explosive off the line, gets separation. He's got hands. He goes up and gets it. He's not afraid to catch that ball in traffic. And again, the numbers speak for themselves. Do the math. When you got somebody that's got 38 catches and they still have 831 receiving yards, do the math on that. That's about 25 yards a catch. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do the math right now. Somebody said 38 catches, that's it? Yeah, that's it, but look at the yards. So you got 831 yards and 38 catches. That's 22 yards a catch. 22 yards of reception is what that averages at. Is that what that averages out to? So basically, with every catch, he's averaging 2 first downs with every catch. Connor Chamil, senior wide receiver, St. Ignatius Wildcats, 1,188 all-purpose yards, 38 catches, 831 yards, 8 TDs. He was the next person on the list. Next up, okay, here we go, Bedford. Next up on the list, from the Lorraine Titans, Dalen Dower, senior running back.
Love this kid, man.
Listen.
Hey, let me speak for a second, fellas. Jay Shine and 20K Shane, this is the reason why I'm picking Lorraine to win the LEL is because Dalen Dower.
D-Smoke.
By far, to me, I believe he's the best player in the LEL, and I don't think no one has an answer for him in the LEL. So I previously picked Cleveland Heights to win the LEL.
You are starting something on Instagram right now.
I'm just saying, I'm calling it how I see it.
Okay,
I previously picked Cleveland Heights, but I had a change of heart. At Lorraine, we all seen their huge offensive line, and they had the best player in the LEL behind that line. Somebody stop him.
Somebody stop D-Smoke.
And he go both ways, too. He plays defense and offense.
We seen how he ran. Even though Euclid won the game, Euclid had no answer for that man.
Yep. Now we know. Now, I'll say this. Probably one of the best plays we ever seen was Bedford stopping Dalen Dower at the 1 yard line. Kenny Wilkins. Shout out Kenny.
Absolutely.
That was probably one of the best plays we've ever seen while doing this show.
But he was a sophomore then.
He was a sophomore, and last year he balled out. That's just what it was. That young man, if he's not the best player in the LEL, he's definitely top 2, top 3 in the LEL, period.
Okay, 20K. He said we stopping him.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dalen Dower, D-Smoke, man. You already know what it is, Dalen. You already know what it is with Dalen Dower. He's explosive. And again, not many teams, if any teams, have any answer for Dalen Dower. So Dalen Dower from Lorraine was the next on the list. Next on the list, another LEL player, Justin Wotley, senior defensive end, running back, and tight end for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. This young man can do it all. He is a beast on the line in the defensive position. Running back, he's humongous. As a running back, he's huge. And tight end, I don't know how you stop him.
And we seen him last year. Remember at the Maple, he took an 80-yard out to the house.
Yeah. To the house. Yeah. Oh, and shout out to Justin, man. Congratulations. He just committed to University of Cincinnati, so you'll be able to watch him play for the Bearcats next
Fickle
season.
Got a good one.
In the American Conference?
American Athletic Conference.
Okay. So shout out to Justin, man. He just committed to Cincinnati, and he had some offers too. I believe Ohio State might have offered him, and a couple of other, if you want to say bigger schools, wanted Justin Wotley to come play for them, but he chose Cincinnati. So shout out to Justin, man. We appreciate all the work you did, man, to get that far. So shout out Justin Wotley from the Cleveland Heights Tigers.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta
man. Not too many people are trying to go to BG. You know what we always say.
It's a wonderful place, man.
We always say, look, man, if you can get the ride or the scholarship to BG, go to BG.
It's a Division I school.
It is. But they won 3 games last year.
Don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that. The MAC East is weak, okay? MAC East is weak. I'm actually going to that.
So you say y'all gonna win? So you saying y'all gonna win 4 next year?
No, we're gonna win it all next year. Okay. I'm actually going to that Bowling Green and Toledo game.
So you're gonna win the whole MAC? You calling the Bowling Green win the whole MAC?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody that's joining the chat room now, shout y'all team, shout y'all school out, shout y'all team out, rep who y'all with y'all schools.
Yes, sir. Let us know who win here. All right, man, let's keep moving on the list. So next up on the list, from the St. Ed's Eagles, Lawson Nash, a senior defensive back and athlete from St. Ed's. Now, here's what I was talking about in the opening of the show. Let me just say this. I'm going to just say this right now because we got a lot of players on Instagram that's watching us, players from Bedford, players from other teams that's watching us. Here's what I'm going to say, because when we do these lists, people get mad. Man, how come this kid wasn't on the list? This kid should have been top 25. This kid should have been Rising Stars, or last year we called it honorable mention. This kid should have been on the list. How y'all sleeping on me? Y'all this, that, and the third. Let me say this. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. I'm going to try to help us help you. As I said in the beginning of the show, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but your stats 9 times out of 10 are not readily available to us. If you go, because the first ones that came at us for this list was Warrensville, Coach Washington, and I believe Javion came at us too. Your stats are not. When you go to Warrensville site, there's nothing on the Warrensville site at all on the school website, in the athletic department, on the football page. There's nothing. When you post your video on Huddle, put your stats in the video. I know you know them. You got to know them. And if you don't know them, ask your coaches what they are.
And ask your athletic director. Or if you have a sports information department, ask them as well, because they're the ones in that press box doing your stats. Yep.
Not just for us, but for anybody that want to go to your school website. And the schools, honestly, let me just say this to the schools, man. Please, y'all. A lot of y'all schools need to start doing a lot better job of making sure the stats are there in real time and there all season long. I've only seen a few schools that do that with stats. But if they're not on the website, put your stats on your Huddle video.
And let me add on to that, Kev. If we were showing favoritism, I got a son that's starting defensive end for the Glenville Tar Blooders. He'd be on the list.
He'd be on the list.
He's not on the list.
I told y'all, if we was, and it was a gentleman, his name was Eric Hibbert. He went on the post and said we was playing favorites. If we wanted to play favorites, we could have said forget Bedford, forget Lorraine, forget Shaw, or forget any of these schools. We could have made this list up from St. Ed's, Hoban, Massillon, and Kinston. We could have used those 4 schools and made up a top 25 list. It's that much talent on those teams. So before you accuse us of playing favorites, remember that. We started out this show with the intention of not trying to suck up and play favorites to the big school, but some of these players you can't leave off. How can you leave off a tight end, 30 catches, 640 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he's going to Alabama? How can you leave that?
Can't leave Dalen Dower off.
Can't leave Dalen Dower off. Can't leave DeMonte Trayanum off. You can't leave them off the list. If we wanted to play favorites, though, we could have made this list out of 4 schools and been done with it.
Yep.
So, speaking of St. Ed's, we'll go back to the list. Lawson Nash, senior defensive back and athlete from St. Ed's. Here are Lawson's numbers, which were on his huddle video. 150 tackles, 6 interceptions, and a touchdown, and he helped lead the Eagles to the Division I state championship. I'm going to say that again as a DB. 150 tackles.
And isn't this the young man who had like a 4.0?
This young, yes. And here's another thing that matters to us when we do these top 25 lists. Lawson Nash, 1420 on his SAT score. GPA of 4.3, I believe. That matters. Yeah, your athletic stuff matters too. 1420 on the SAT, 4.3 GPA, and 150 tackles. Oh, you going top 25.
That's
period.
That's an All-American, and that's an academic All-American right there.
Got at least 10 offers. Latest one was from Yale. You do that, you going top 25. That's something we can't leave that off. So Lawson Nash, man, shout out, and really quiet as kept. We probably could have put his brother on top 25 if we really wanted to, made an argument for his brother, Logan Nash.
We know Bedford in the house. Who else out there? What other schools out there in the chat? I see a lot of people in here.
All right, next up on the list, from the North Canton Hoover Vikings, Connor Ashby, junior quarterback. Here's another person that had their stats on their huddle video. 2,252 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 424 rushing yards, 6 TDs. This young man is almost like, see, a lot of y'all are too young to know, but think Fran Tarkenton. Think like a Steve Young.
Wait. Fran, who?
The Hall of Famer, Fran Tarkenton, quarterback
Who?
for the Minnesota Vikings.
Who?
Look him up. Fran Tarkenton is a Hall of Famer, and he was when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, Fran Tarkenton was almost the mold for the mobile quarterback who could really get out of almost any situation. He was almost not Vic, but like those in that Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick mold, Steve Young, those mobile quarterbacks who could get out of the way and duck under defenders. That was Fran Tarkenton back in the 70s playing for the Vikings. So, able to escape the pocket, able to keep players alive with his feet, make things happen, get his wide receivers open. Connor Ashby, quarterback from the North Canton Hoover Vikings. Again, 2,252 yards, 21 touchdowns, 424 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Connor Ashby on the list. Next up, from the Warrensville Heights Tigers, Jerome Lee Jr., senior running back from Warrensville Heights. I look at Jerome Lee, and I think of Jerome Bettis, but just a little bit smaller than Jerome Bettis, is what I think of when I see Jerome Lee. I mean, just come through that line like a freight train, man. And if you in the way, get yourself ready. Because one of y'all is not bringing down Jerome Lee. You're going to need a couple guys. But again, here's the problem. I looked at Jerome Lee's huddle video, but there were no stats on the website for Jerome Lee or his video. I'm gonna say it again, man. I'm imploring you guys, put your stats on your huddle video, because a lot of times they're not available to us. That stuff will matter. Put your stats on there when you put your huddle videos out. Okay. So Jerome Lee, senior running back from the Warrensville Heights Tigers, was next up on the list. Next on the list, from the Brush Arcs, senior wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. No relation to the actual Keyshawn Johnson. I don't know, maybe he is.
I was just about to ask that.
Maybe. Keyshawn Johnson, senior wide receiver from the Brush Arcs. Him and A.J. Shorts were a deadly combination last year. Very explosive combination. Knows how to get open, knows how to get separation, not afraid to go over the middle. And if he catches it and you're a step behind, you forget about it. You're not catching it.
So he's sort of like a Markel Tony. Remember
yes.
Markel Tony?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And there's some good receivers that came out of Brush.
Oh, absolutely.
Andre Franks and all. I mean, there's some good receivers that came out of Brush. So Keyshawn Johnson, Brush Arcs, was next up on the list. All right. Here you go, James. Next up on the list, 2 times for the big boys. Junior offensive lineman from the Massillon Tigers, John Kuth. I'm going to tell you something. 6'2", 310 pounds, I believe.
That's a big boy.
And when I watched the video, it's that road grader, almost like, and not in temperament and mentality, but how he finishes blocks and makes sure his blocks are complete. Say what you want about him mentally, but Richie Incognito is a name that I'll kind of throw out there just as a blocker, not as a person. Please don't make the mistake. Not as a person, but as a blocker. John Kuth will finish that block, and he'll drive his player into the ground and make sure that block is finished and make sure the hole is open. And the most impressive thing about John Kuth is that he was only a sophomore last year, and he was running people.
Jay King, the Kennedy player here, he said we slept on him.
I mean, look, man. Like I said, Jordan, everybody can't be on the list, bro. Everybody can't be on the list.
Shout out to Black Rain, Sid Foster.
Oh, what else said? That's my dude. Me and Sid go way back to high school. That's my dude. What else said? That's my man. Me and Sid go way back. Dope MC too. Sid is a dope MC, man.
Has
for
he
real.
been in fantasy?
No, he won't. No.
Okay,
But
right.
me and Sid go back to junior high school, man. Me and Sid go way back. What's good, Sid? I appreciate you, man. But no, John Kuth was just, and I don't know if it's Kuth or Kuth. I hope I'm saying it right. I think it's Kuth. I hope I'm saying it right. But John Kuth was just, he was dominant as a sophomore. And in that culture down there in Massillon, where they live, eat, and breathe football, he's only going to get better. And so it was only right that we put him on there because he was opening all kinds of holes for that team that went to the state championship game last year. So John Kuth from the Massillon Tigers was the next on the list. All right. Next up on the list from the North Royalton Bears, senior quarterback Joey Marasek, 2,422 yards, 29 touchdowns, 575 rushing yards, and 9 touchdowns. First team All-Suburban League. Again, you know how I found that out? Because he put it in his huddle video. I'm going to keep saying it through the rest of this show. Put your stats and your accomplishments in your huddle videos. It can be done. Players are doing it. Make sure you do that. If you don't know what they are, ask somebody in the sports information department. Ask a coach. Put your stats in your huddle video because they are not readily available to us. Joey Marasek, again, a quarterback who is fearless. He reminds me, gosh, he kind of, as fearless as he is, he kind of reminds me of, if I go way back, I'll say a Randall Cunningham, where he will dive over the pile. He'll dive into the end zone. He doesn't care about that contact in the air. A Baker Mayfield.
Cam Newton.
Who will do something like that. Maybe a Cam Newton who will do something like that. He reminds me of those type of quarterbacks. Now, a Ryan Malloy even from Avon from last year, but I would say this, Joey. Nothing wrong with sliding, Joey. All right? Nothing wrong with sliding, Joey. You don't want to. I get you trying to. You're trying to make a play. You're trying to get extra yards. You're trying to get in the end zone. There's nothing wrong with. There's no shame in slide, Joey. All right. But first team All-Suburban League, 29 touchdowns, 9 rushing touchdowns. And North Royalton had a pretty good season last year. So Joey Marasek was the next on the list. All right. Next up, and we're almost done. We're pretty much at the end here on the list. From the Barberton Magics. Senior wide receiver and strong safety Caleb Vega from the Barberton Magics. Again, another player where when you look at Caleb, when you look at how he comes off of the line, when you look at how he uses his patience to find the hole when he's on offense, and he comes, once he finds it, he explodes right through it. Once he gets the ball in his hands, the explosion is there, and he is a problem, and he's going to be a problem for Barberton. For people that play Barberton this year. Really, really impressed by what I saw from Caleb Vega on this whole video. Sometimes, the video will speak for itself. Sometimes we don't even need stats. We can just look at the video and be like, look, man, this kid is it. We want to get as many stats as we can, but, when you look at Caleb Vega play, look at his playmaking ability, he had to be on the list. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do for Barberton. And if they can keep this going, Barberton's had a pretty good run these past couple of years. Barberton's been on a pretty good run. And I think Caleb Vega is going to help them go on and continue that run. So, all right, we are ready to the last person on the list. The last entry on the top 25 list for this year was Atiba Fitz Jr., a junior running back, free safety, and strong safety from the Euclid Panthers. Again, as a running back, explosive. He can also return kicks. I think he had a couple of kicks returned for a touchdown last year. Great, almost in that Darren Sproles type mold. Fast, explosive as a running back. Dangerous as a kick returner. Euclid, Reggie said it, Euclid's on another level this year. And so it's going to be Atiba Fitz is going to be a big, in my opinion, going to be a big cog in that machine at Euclid. So Atiba Fitz, the video again speaks for itself, and so he was the last member on the top 25 list. So that's it, man.
Shout out to everybody that joined Instagram and Facebook Live. We had 40 viewers.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Shout out to everybody that joined the list, man. We really appreciate it. So let's do this, Eli. Let's take one more break. We'll come back. We'll go over the Rising Stars list, and we'll just kind of recap that real quick. We'll go over the Rising Stars list, and then we'll finish up from there. Usually the half hour of the show, we kind of freestyle a bit, get into a few things. We might talk some Browns training camp, talk some Indians. You never know. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We appreciate everybody that joined and listened. Eli, what's the name of the song?
The name of the song is called King by Papa Brechen Beats. Yeah, say that 5 times.
Yeah.
This is the Quad Brothers Sports Show on One Unit Media Network.
The Quad?
Yep. Welcome back to the show. Hey, look, man. Sorry if you hear a little background noise. We apologize for that.
That's the AC.
That's
we cooking
AC,
in here,
man. It's looking, man. It was. Sorry, man. I done lost a lot of weight, but I still get hot and still get sweaty. It was cooking up in this joint. We had to change that. So if you hear a little background noise, we apologize, but that's just the AC going, man. You don't want 3 dead brothers up in this house.
Great last segment, though.
Yeah, great last segment. All right, man. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the Rising Stars list here. We'll just kind of run down the list. We may stop on a couple of them. We're just going to kind of run down the list, and just kind of go over some of the guys on this list. So the first entries on the list, quarterback Brandon Alexander of the Alliance Aviators. Brandon is only going to be a junior this year, but when you talk about, we were talking about quarterbacks, and we were talking about Connor Ashby, and one of the names that Eli brought up was Cam Newton. When I looked at Brandon Alexander, Cam Newton was who I thought of first. A quarterback who's got an arm on him, and a quarterback who can make plays with his feet, and he's got size. I believe he's only a junior. I believe he's 6'3", 210, and he's only a junior. So Brandon Alexander, quarterback for the Alliance Aviators, is first on the Rising Stars list. This next one, honestly, this young man, we could have put him on top 25, and I would have been totally fine with that. Logan Nash, the brother of Lawson Nash from the St. Edward Eagles. Logan Nash himself, the play on the field, again, the video speaks for itself. Logan Nash was a great player on that St. Edward's team, but he himself was also in his books 4.2 GPA. I'm not sure what his SAT score was. 4.2 GPA. We could have made a case for. I looked at Logan's Holder video. Nice. We could have made a case for Logan Nash as well. I'm telling you, man, the academics matter. Trust and believe when I say that to you. That's why we try to reward you guys for that kind of stuff. The academics matter. Logan Nash was the next on the list. And then next on the list for the Rising Stars, quarterback for the Brush Arcs, A.J. Shorts. The quarterback for Brush Arcs. A.J. has been getting better and better. Every time we see A.J. gets better.
Strong arm.
Absolutely.
Better and better. Very athletic. Can make plays happen with his feet. Can keep plays alive. And again, he keeps getting better and progressing every time.
Also, the little brother of Cecil Shorts as well.
Yes, also the Cecil Shorts' little brother. Absolutely. Next on the list, Andrew Keating of the Strongsville Mustangs. Strongsville, we're still rocking with you, man. We don't listen. We don't let that whatever happened dampen that. We're still rocking with you, Strongsville. Andrew Keating. My guess is he is either the brother or somehow related to someone who was on our top 25, I believe, in our first year. Ryan Keating?
Yeah,
Ryan Keating from Strongsville. Andrew Keating, defensive end for the Strongsville Mustangs. Again, explosive off the ball. Once he gets into the backfield, he's very disruptive. Can end plays quickly. So Andrew Keating from the Strongsville Mustangs. Next up, Dylan Freilich from the Eastlake North Rangers. Dylan is a quarterback, defensive end, and punter.
He act like a running back,
He acts like a running back. Dylan Freilich is something to behold. And
yes.
I attended some Eastlake North games, JV and varsity. Dylan would play the JV game. This was last year. Dylan would play the JV game, and then, not last year, Dylan would play half of the JV game and then play the whole varsity game.
Remember when we seen him last year? He was out there running dudes out there talking smack, talking about you scared to tackle.
I turned to Red and said, "Who is this kid, man?
He is something
huge
to behold out there, man." And I think he's going to be a problem. He's another kid that we could have put Dylan Freilich on the top 25 as well. You see what I'm saying about this list? There are young men that are on this list that really could have been interchangeable. You could have made an argument for some of these young men to be on top 25.
Absolutely.
But everybody can't make the list. Y'all got to understand that. If everybody could make the list, there'd be no point in us doing the list if everybody could make the list. Everybody can't make the list. Next up, Brock Janowitz, left tackle, I believe, a senior tackle from the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders. Again, in that road grader type mold. Brock would get out there and lock onto his target, and that's it. If he lock onto you, you're out of there. And so, we saw Brock. We recognized the talent. We wanted to recognize Brock's effort and the way he plays offensive lineman, mean and nasty. If you lock onto you're going for a ride. Brock Janowitz from Central Catholic, the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders was the next on the list. Next up, Jordan Dean, wide receiver from Villa Angela St. Joseph Vikings. Jordan Dean is a, I guess you could use the word prototypical. I believe he's like 6'3". I don't remember his weight, but he's kind of a lanky, like Randy Moss lanky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
6'3", goes up and gets the ball, has great hands. I think they're going to really, really put him to great use. Out there at Villa Angela St. Joseph. Jordan Dean, a phenomenal talent, and we wanted to put him on that Rising Stars list and recognize him. Be looking out for Jordan Dean. Next on the list, here is another young man who, when I saw him, I was like, my goodness. Savion Washington from the St. Vincent St. Mary Fighting Irish. 6'9", I believe, is Savion Washington. Wow. Yes. 6'9". He is a road grader and a half. And he is committed to Kent State. Yes.
Got
him. He's committed to Kent State. I mean, all I can say is watch the video, man. Watch the video. I'm surprised he wasn't recruited. No disrespect to Kent State. I'm surprised he wasn't recruited by some other schools, some bigger schools. I was really surprised by that. Because the way this young man plays, and at that size, 6'9", I would have thought a lot of other schools would have come calling. And maybe they did. He just decided to go to Kent State. But he belongs to the Golden Flashes now, and I'm sure they're glad to have him. So Savion Washington from St. Vincent St. Mary down in Akron was next up on the list. Next on the list, Sam Urbanski, defensive lineman from NDCL, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Shout out to the Lions. Sam Urbanski, defensive end, explosive off the edge, creates plays, chases down the runner, chases down the ball, never gives up on a play, always around the football. He's got a nose for the ball. And Sam Urbanski is going to be an impact player for NDC, I believe. He's really got a lot of talent, and it shows on the film. It shows. And so we wanted to make sure we included Sam on the list as well. Next on the Rising Stars list, another young man, another very talented, getting ready to make his name and live up to his namesake, Jalen Castleberry from St. Ed's. Wide receiver.
Yep, Castleberry brothers.
Ready to step in to pick up where Jordan left off and go out there for St. Ed's and keep that St. Ed's tradition alive and make up for it. And Jalen Castleberry is somebody we want to include in that Rising Stars list because he is a rising star and he's going to make a great impression there. Next up on the list, Blake Miller from again, another Strongsville player. Blake Miller, offensive tackle, defensive tackle for the Strongsville Mustangs. 6'6", 315. Blake Miller, I believe, is going to be a sophomore this year. Yes, class of 2022. He was a freshman last year, playing varsity. Already got an offer from Rutgers. Kid is nice. Got an offer from Valparaiso. Got an offer from Indiana. Got an offer from Robert Morris. Got an offer from Iowa State. Got an offer from Cincinnati. Wow. Got one from Lehigh. Got one from BG.
Yes.
Got one from Toledo.
Out of all them schools, you think he gonna pick BG though?
Yes.
No.
He don't want to go to Rutgers.
Already had a visit to Ohio State. Already had a visit to Michigan. Already had a visit to Clemson. Blake Miller. I got a feeling Blake Miller has a good season this year. Blake Miller might be top 25 next year. I'm just saying. He's only a sophomore. He don't graduate till 2022. Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa State, Cincinnati already come calling. So Blake Miller next on the list. Next up, Gabe Supinus. I hope I'm saying that last name right. Gabe Supinus from the Eastlake North Rangers. Class of 2020. 25 on the ACT. 4.23 GPA. But one of the big hogs up front. Gabe is a player for Eastlake North. He's going to be a problem. Gabe Supinus next on the list. Next up, another member of that Kinston Division III championship team. George Sell, tackle for the Kinston Bombers, already committed to Wake Forest. Congratulations on that, George. We didn't congratulate you when we put you on the list, but congratulations, George. George Sell committed to Wake Forest. He'll be in the ACC with Jack Porter, staying with his teammate. 6'4.5", 270 pounds. Offensive tackle from Kinston, George Sell, next on the list. Another quarterback, explosive arm, that's up next on the Rising Stars list. Explosive arm, great players with his feet. Trey Schaefer from the Wadsworth Grizzlies. They get down when it comes to football in Wadsworth. They get down with it. 2017 and 18, I want to say Suburban League champions, I believe, was Wadsworth. They get down with it out there. Trey Schaefer leading the charge. Trey Schaefer of the Wadsworth Grizzlies was next on the list. This next one was an interesting pick, but I felt like we needed to include this young man. Magnus Haynes, kicker for the Massillon Tigers.
Oh, you found a kicker.
He found a special teams player to put on the Rising Stars list, and he deserves to be on that list. Putting kicks in the end zone from about the 35 or 40-yard line. Putting them in the end zone.
Kicking is a
I'm gonna say this right now, man, and I'm gonna just be real upfront and honest about it. A lot of these schools in here in the city, maybe your Warrensvilles or your Shaws, y'all need to start investing in kickers, man. Because we went to too many games where we saw teams going for it on 4th and 11, 4th and 12 because they don't have a kicker.
What game was that? Last year was it Euclid versus St. Ignatius?
Might have been.
But it came down to a kick.
Oh no, I don't know. It might have been that one, but I know one game for Minter. What did the kid kick?
It was Euclid and Minter. That's who it was.
Was it like a 60-yarder?
And that's how they won the game.
I'm just saying, man. A lot of these schools, you need to find a kicker. Find one. It's very important. Too many schools we saw going for it on 4th and 12. You got to go for it on 4th and 12 because you don't have a kicker. That's not Madison's problem. Magnus Haynes. Next on the list for the Rising Stars. Next up on the Rising Stars list, another young man who could have... See, I told you, we could have made a good chunk of this list out of just only St. Ed's players. C.J. Hankins, linebacker for St. Ed's, was next on the list, class of 2021. He'll be a junior this year. And I'm just telling you, we could have made an argument for C.J. Hankins to be on top 25. It's a lot of talent on that squad, man. A lot of talent. C.J. Hankins from St. Ed's next up on the list. The next member of the Rising Stars list, Elijah Taylor, from a quarterback from Warren G. Harding, another mobile quarterback who can make plays and extend plays, keep things going for Warren G. Harding. Elijah Taylor was next up on the list. Next on the list, Brandon Kelly, defensive back from John Hay. Ball hawk. Whoa. Yeah, shout out John Hay. See, talking about the Senate was slept on. No, the Senate wasn't slept on. We was looking out for the Senate. Now, we didn't get everybody, but we saw some people in the Senate. Brandon Kelly, man, defensive back, ball hawk from John Hay. Was everywhere making plays. Shout out Brandon Kelly. Next on the list, Andre Parker Jr. of the Lutheran East Falcons. 5'11", 201 pounds. Running back, outside linebacker, kick returner, punt returner. Doing everything out there. Andre Parker Jr., man, is a very talented player. Again, another player where if we would have put him on top 25, you could have made an argument for him being on top 25. There are so many players out there like that. That's why when I say everybody can't be on the list, I mean it. Everybody can't be on the list. You got to put on who you can. What is this? Who let this bug in the room?
He's stalking us, too.
Man. So next up on the list after Andre Parker Jr., another Senate player, Sincere Sowell, Shaw Cardinals. Another player who's immensely talented.
Wait, we got somebody from Shaw?
We got somebody from Shaw on the list.
Get out of here.
Telling y'all, you guys think we're not looking. We're looking. You think we're not noticing. We are noticing. Another, next up on the list, quarterback from the Glenville Tarblooders, William Anglin, a.k.a. Man.
He could have easily been on the top 25.
Yep.
Unbelievable talent, live arm, athletic, and he will lead his team to a 9-1 record this year.
A 9-1 record.
9-1.
I'm telling you.
9-1.
9-1.
Okay. We'll
shout out Glenn. Shout out to Glenville.
Yes, I'm hating. I'm hating already.
Shout out, man. I'm just saying. And then the last member, but again, this is not a ranking order. So this is, when people hear last member, they think, oh, he was last. They think he's last. No, that's not what we're saying. I already said it's not a ranking system. But finally, D'Angelo Bell of the Warrensville Heights Tigers. And let me just do this real quick. So D'Angelo Bell. This is what I was saying about D'Angelo Bell. Look, I get Coach Washington thought he should have been top 25. And maybe, again, with those stats, he might have been. We couldn't find his stats. Why? Because it's not on the website. So people want to come on and come at us. He should have been top 25. Well, okay. Well, you mad at us, but y'all not even promoting your boy right. You're not even putting him out there. Because if you go to the Warrensville Heights website, you won't find anything on D'Angelo Bell on the Warrensville Heights website. You won't find anything, period. No stats, no roster, no schedule, nothing. If you go to the football page at Warrensville Heights High School. So how are we supposed to know? Again, we don't pay these scouting services. We have to go with the information that's provided to us, the information that we can find. And it's hard to find stats for a lot of these high school players. So if y'all not going to promote him right, how you coming at us because we didn't put him on the list you thought he was supposed to be on? Maybe the question should be, how come y'all ain't pushing the boy like he should be? If you got a player that's got 10 interceptions and he's first team All-State, I'm going to make sure that somebody, when they go to our website, our school website, we should know. They're going to know about it. So keep that same energy that you had with us. Go to your AD. Go to your scouting department or whoever it is that runs your website at Warrensville Heights and ask them, with that same energy you came at us with, why aren't our player stats readily available to be seen on our website? Because they're not. Period. I went and I looked. More than once. Nothing. So keep that same energy and go find that out. Why aren't those player stats available? Because you're doing a disservice to somebody like D'Angelo if you're not making that information available anywhere for anybody to see. So that's it. That's the top 25. That's the Rising Stars list. And so we're going to be reaching out to a lot of you players. So, keep on your inboxes, man, on Twitter, on Instagram. Some of you might maybe on Facebook. We know some of the parents. I know some of the parents are on Facebook. I've been talking to a couple of the parents on Facebook. Keep an eye out on the inboxes. We're going to be reaching out to these players. We're going to get as many of these players on this season as we possibly can. So be keeping an eye out for that. All right, so let's make a switch from the list. And again, thanks to everybody who was supporting us and following us. Now we appreciate that. But let's make a quick switch.
Shout out to Bedford. Y'all still only winning 3 games this year.
Hey, man. Can we trade Trevor Bauer already? I mean, seriously. Weren't we just talking to the Phillies about getting Trevor Bauer out here? He might have heard his trade value today.
He's a disgrace. He's a punk.
I wouldn't say – I mean –
no, that was a punk move by him today.
It was. And Tito, rightfully so, Tito called him out right there on the mound. Tito basically said, what the F are you doing? No, he said, what the F is wrong with you? Tito's not having that. It's time for this dude to go. It just is. Let's get rid of him, get something back for him, and move on from Trevor Bauer. Now, with that being said, the Indians have gone on quite the run lately. What are we now? 2 or 3 back?
Well, what? I don't know if the Twins won today.
We 2 games behind.
We 2 games back. Okay.
2 games back.
Which is not bad.
No, not considering we were 12 games back not that long. We were 12 games back.
Beginning of June, we were 12 games back. And we leading the first wild card.
Yeah.
So us winning coupled with the Twins losing has brought us to 2 games within the Twins.
And Corey Kluber throwing bullpen sessions.
Okay.
So, yeah, in AAA Columbus.
Right. So, let's they'll get it back. They're going to get it back. Get it rolling again. But now the question is, serious, man. I'm gonna kill this bug. I'm telling you, I'm serious, man. The question now is Trevor Bauer more of a hindrance than a help? Pitching wise, probably not, but attitude wise, probably so. And I don't know if he's helping much. His attitude stinks. Now, yeah, did he apologize for it? Absolutely, he apologized for it. But when you got to get reamed out by the manager on the mound because you're doing something stupid like that, it's not a good look. And if they're trying to trade you, it's going to hurt your trade value. Maybe they won't be able to trade him. I don't know. Berea, training camp.
Yes, sir.
Said they're looking nice.
Yep.
Let me just say this, though. I was listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on KNR. Man, some of these people need to slow down. These two guys on there. Let me tell you. This dude, it might have been Darryl Ryder, had the nerve to mention Myles Garrett in the same sentence as Reggie White.
No, he ain't there yet.
Stop it. He's not even in the same universe as Reggie White. Stop it.
He got some work to do.
Reggie White? Come on, man.
He got some work to do, but
he got a lot of work to do to get to Reggie White.
I know he's going to be a problem, though, because he's squatting 645.
And he had 13 sacks last year. That's all great. Reggie White, nah. No. He's got a lot of work to get to. He's got a lot of work to get to Bruce Smith level. Let alone Reggie White.
We'll see in a couple of years. He got to do some work.
That defense, they're going to have to really. The offense, look, we already know what the offense is supposed to bring to the table or likely to bring to the table. I'm guessing we already know this. What we don't know is what the defense is going to bring to the table. Have they brought in some players? Absolutely, but we don't know what these guys are going to do.
Especially in that secondary.
But that's where I beg to defer. The game of football, the defense is the one that always catch on the fastest. Offense is the one that got to get caught up. And
defense sets the tone.
Defense is going to set the tone. You got Myles Garrett, you got Sheldon Richardson, you got Olivier Vernon, you got Denzel Ward, and you got Greedy, and the linebackers.
Kirksey.
The defense is going to be perfectly fine. The offense got to get up to speed.
Let's see it. The preseason will be here before we know it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see. Let's see what this defense can do. The time for talk is almost over, fellas.
Definitely.
The time for talk is almost over. It's going to be time to show and prove here in just a few weeks. Less than that. The Hall of Fame game is next Saturday.
I thought it was Thursday.
Oh, it might be Thursday. I know the parade is not the parade is next Saturday. So the Hall of Fame game will be probably following.
I thought the Hall of Fame game was this Thursday.
No, the parade is this Saturday. We gotta look and see it because the parade is this Saturday. It's next Saturday. I was just talking to my sister down in Canada about the parade is next Saturday. They don't have
the Hall of Fame game is it's this Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it'll be August 1st. What? Tuesday?
Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah. It's moving. It's here.
I guess so.
We're
here. that kind of wow. So they're doing it back. They must be doing everything backwards because the parade. Wow. All right. My bad. So it's coming sooner than we think. Who is it? Denver
and Atlanta.
Oh, okay. I don't want to see that.
Julio ain't even gonna play.
Yeah, we don't see that. But it's coming, so we're gonna see how we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see how it's gonna go. We're gonna show and prove. So I just want to end the show with saying this. And I'm actually I'm gonna try to record this too. I want to end the show with saying this. And I'm saying this to every player, every coach, every AD, every school. When we do these top 25 lists, again, we got to go off of the information that we have. I'll repeat it again. We don't have the financial resources of a Fox 8 or a Cleveland.com. We don't have the manpower. There's 4 of us trying to make this thing happen. If you have a player, I don't care if you're one of those people I just mentioned, you can be a friend of a player, you can be a parent of a player. If you have a player that you want us to showcase or at least take a look at on our show, hit us up in the inbox. Inbox is open all the time. 24/7, 365. Hit us up in the inbox. We will take a look. We will not turn you away. We'll take a look at it. Hit us up in the inbox. Because we are always looking for new talent. Always. Another thing you schools need to start doing, man, start putting these stats on your websites and leaving them up there and making them readily available for people to see, people like us, to see them. So we can use more. The more information we have, the better we can formulate this list. But the list is what it is. We're not changing the list. We're not doing any of that. The list is what it is. But maybe some of y'all need to start questioning yourselves. Why are we not propping our players up? Why are we not promoting our players? We got players that's all state. Why are we not promoting that? Why can't people go to our athletic page on our website and see that? You go to Kinston, you can see it. Go to Kinston's website and see what I'm talking about. They'll show you who's all state. They'll show you stats from last year. That's all on their website. Go to Kinston and see. Some of y'all need to step it up. Don't get mad at us because we're going off limited information that you could be providing. Don't get mad at us for that. Ask yourselves why you're not propping your players up like you should be. Y'all are the ones that got the direct access to the stats. You guys are the ones controlling the website. Put it on the website. Make it available for people to see.
And I can't stress this enough. Content. You get some of these kids, man. Get some high school kid that actually knows social media.
Yep.
Or who's like great at math.
Absolutely.
Like, get them in the press box, man. Let them learn early. There's actually jobs out there for these kids.
There are students that'll do it too.
Yeah.
There are students that'll do it too. Have them get the stats, and then whoever's responsible for loading onto the website, go ahead and have whoever's responsible for the website do the stats, and then upload it to the website. It's 2019. It can be done. It ain't hard. Do that. Help your students out. All right, man. That's going to do it for us. We can go ahead. Go ahead.
One second. I wanted to show Bedford a little extra love. Y'all ain't matter if y'all ain't mind. I got their schedule.
No.
I got their schedule pulled up.
Okay.
So I'm if we go over these over these games, and y'all tell me if y'all think it's a win or a loss.
Okay, let's do it.
They open up against Nordonia. I think that's a loss.
Yeah, I think that's a loss too.
Yeah, I think that's a loss.
Their first win will come week 2, in my opinion, against Elyria.
Okay, I'll give them a win against Elyria.
I give them a win.
Then I have another L against Garfield Heights.
Oh yeah, that's a definite.
L.
Sorry.
I got another L against Cleveland Central Catholic.
That's a win.
I'll give Bedford a win.
Okay, so that's 2. Y'all got them for 2 so far. I got them another L for Notre Dame Cathedral Catholic.
That's a
Cathedral
win.
Latin. Yep, that's a loss.
I got them
That's
another loss for
me.
Maple Heights.
That could go either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna push.
I'm gonna win. They're gonna win that one.
They actually got Maple Heights on their schedule twice. I don't know if that's an error or a misprint, but it say Maple Heights again for the very next week. But I got them before another loss for Cleveland Heights.
Yep, that's a loss.
That's a loss.
I got them beating Shaw.
Okay, that's a win.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
I got them losing to Lorraine.
Yep,
that's definitely a loss.
And I got them losing to Warrensville Heights.
Yep.
That's a win.
Nope, I got them losing to Warrensville.
So you got them for 4 wins.
Yeah.
I got them for 3.
I said I said
That's 3 wins. When I look at the schedule, I got to take that 5 down to 3. That's what it is, Bedford.
Shout out to Bedford though. I'm gonna definitely be looking for them. If we don't be there at the Lorraine game, I'm gonna be looking for them stats.
This bug is gonna get it, man. The best thing you can do, Bedford, is prove us wrong on the field, and we'll be happy to capitulate and say we were wrong.
Yep.
But you gotta do it on the field.
I got you for 3 though, Bedford.
Hey, I gotta go 3-2. I gotta take that 5 down to 3. All right, man. We're gonna get out of here. Again, thank you to everybody who came through, man, on the live feeds. Thank you to all the people who are now following our show, supporting our show. We really, really appreciate it. We try to do the best we can to make this show the best it can be. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the parents. Hey, let me just say this. Coach Washington, it's still love, man. It's still love. If you got players, I'm going to have to record this too. Let me just say this at the end. Coach Washington, Warrensville is still love, man. Coach, if you got players that you think we need to check out, hit us up, man. Hit us up on the inbox. It's always open on all 3 platforms. As far as I'm concerned, on this end, it's still love. Now the rest, it's up to you. The rest is up to you. But if you want to hit us up on the inbox, it's all love, man.
We don't take anything personal.
No, we don't take nothing personal. But I'm calling it like I see it, man.
Wait, is this the
Yeah.
Well, you know how.
Well, yeah. Well, we know how it would eat, but I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, it's still love.
I got love for Warrensville too.
So if you got somebody you want to check, man, hit the inbox, Coach. We'll never say no. All right, man, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks to everybody that's supporting us. Thanks to all the parents that listen. We appreciate y'all. Congrats to all the top 25 and the Rising Stars members. We will be reaching out to you. For Eli Robinson, for Reggie Logan, for Phil Rucker, my name is Kevin Hanley. Eli's name of the song.
Name of the song is called Diamonds by William Beats. This is the Quad Brothers Sports Show on One Unit Media Network.
Download that app. Sorry, go ahead, Reggie. Do your thing.
You got it.
Download the app and listen to the show in the archives if you haven't already. We out.
The Quad.
Peace.